this is going to be the last segment of the summer retreat. So let's finish up this album. Don't forget to subscribe and check out every other video about this album and how we got to this point. Hello, my name is Nikki and I'm with Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. So let's do a quick flip of what I've done to this album. First, you notice I finished the front. It's going to be super simple, keeping with the pink theme. So I added a lace border here, some puffy stickers. Then I also added my spine. Now, it's wonky. I could not, for the life of me, change it so that these were straight. I'm just going to embrace the wonkiness. But you can see it says 2023 retreat. And similar to my 2022 retreat. Now, we did more in this retreat than we did in this one, but because this is handmade, I way overestimated how much room I needed. And that's okay. So this one, small, compact, lovely. Love it. I also updated the front cover. You can still see here the wrinkles, but it was really annoying me that it was on the front cover. So I just added this yellow piece of paper. I really like it. You can add a pocket or whatever you want on the front here. I didn't really have anything to go in that pocket, so I just left it. It's just like a normal book jacket. And then I added my front cover here that talks about the Whatever Craft House and when this took place, June 7th through the 11th. And then we go straight into our daily pages. So the 8th is here. I have not completed this because I want to do this with you together. That's going to be the tutorial at the end of the video. So if you haven't seen how to make a waterfall album page, definitely stay tuned for that. We will go through how to make this, and this is kind of what it does. So if I pull this, now it's not attached, so if I pull it, these are going to kind of look like they're going like that. And that's what's going to end up happening when we're done with this waterfall. But I was just doing this for placement, and I'm thinking that is going to go right there, right above the pull tab. So that'll be cute. And then I made a pocket here with the information from the places that we stayed so we can take a look at it next year. I added a little bit of decoration. Now I pulled from that Happy Crafting by Cartabella collection that I did a review on. And I'll link that in the upper right hand corner for you so you can take a look at that whole collection. It is gorgeous. Highly recommend that you purchase it. Next page, I struggled just a little bit with this because I wanted this to kind of look spooky and scary, but these are happy bright colors. So I originally picked this page to be orange because orange is a typical Halloween piece, and I added this spooky, and you can see this is the upstairs and this is the downstairs, and I just put our photos here, and then I added a little bit of an embellishment here from my stash that is Halloween, so that's fun. And then these are not flips and folds, this is just straight up on the page. Thought I would add my Norm's coffee because yeah, freaking love this place. Delicious coffee. And then this has a flip down where you can see the house that was next door that we went to go, and it was a museum tour, and then the things inside the house that talk about in my story on the back, and then pictures that we took during that day. And then this was the first fire I've ever built in my life, so of course I had to do handmade goodness because we did that and we hung out at the fire pit that night. And then last page, I wish I kind of had stamped this, but I didn't. It is what it is. I also wish I hadn't placed this flower here, but by the time I got it even just a little stuck, it wasn't coming off the photo. So, you know, sometimes that happens and you just kind of roll with it. So I'm rolling with it. And then my last page. Remember, this is how this is adhered, so I cannot pick this up. This is literally the last page. So I don't have to worry about a back page. Back cover, didn't do anything to it. It's just gonna live its life being upside down. So that is the end of my album. I'm done except for this one page, which I think is going to turn out really cute. So that's what we're going to do next, is this tutorial. Please let me know what you think about this album. Again, I'm simply embellished, so I really don't have very many embellishments. The priority of this was to get it done and documented. So let's do this. You're going to need a 12-inch piece of paper. So I'm going to grab some 49 and mark it here. And I think I'm going to do, let's see, because that's going to be on there. I think I'm going to do this blue. So I'm just going to cut a strip. Now this strip here, and I like the length of this, or width of this, is 2 inches. This is 2 by, hang on, let me figure out how long it is. 10 and a half. I'm gonna go 2 by 10 and a half. So I guess you could use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to do this, if you have it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. Now before I actually cut it down to 10 and a half, I'm gonna leave it the full 12, just in case an oopsie happens and I cut it too small. And what you're gonna need is paper that's as big as your photo, so in my case 4 by 3. And then you're gonna need your scoreboard and a tool to score your paper, and then bone folder to crease it and varnish it. So I have 6 photos that I need to be done. Okay, so I am making 6 lines at a 1/2 inch each. So I'm going 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. So that's 6 lines at a 1/2 inch each. You don't want to go any further. I tried it, because then the bottom of your image or whatever's on the back is going to be smaller. It also makes it run smoother if you just have it at a 1/2 inch. I wouldn't go any smaller than a 1/2 inch. I think the photos would be too close together when you go to turn it. So then you're just going to press down on each of these, as I'm doing here, to make sure that they will be nice and pretty when you fold them back. So this should be kind of loosey-goosey. I'm going to even go the opposite direction on here, just to make sure to break that paper. That's essentially what you're doing when you fold. You break the fibers in the paper to make it easier to maneuver. And that's why we score, because then we start that breaking. There we go. See how that's nice loosey-goosey? Loosey-goosey. Okay, so you're going to need your 6 foundations for your images. And I am actually going to use the pieces of the cover. So the cover had 4 by 3 colored cardstock. So that's what I'm going to use for my bases. So I should have 6 of them here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is somewhere. Hang on. Oh, I actually don't need 6. You need 5, and then your 6th one is going to be your last 4 by 3 photo. Da-da-da. Okay, so we're going to start adhering that last one, which is going to be a photo in my case. So let's get these in order. And the order in my case, this is why I made a separate one, right? Is so I can actually figure out the order. Let's see. We're going to do that one first up top. And then this one. Nope. And then this one right here. This one right here. And a sticker. So it doesn't always have to be 4 by 3, but my base is 4 by 3. Okay, so then these 2. This one. And this one's my last one. Okay, so since this is my last photo, I'm going to do my best to line it up here. I'm not going to place it on top of the crease. I'm going to butt it up against the top of the crease, and I'm going to try to get this as centered as possible. It's not going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to add glue here. And I think I would use liquid glue on this project because it's going to stick longer, last longer, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is glued nice and beautiful. And then I need to figure out the color order that I want to go in. So when I pull this, the pink needs to be up here because that's the first color we see in the rainbow. So it's going to go opposite rainbow, and you'll see what this looks like. It's going to be really cool. I am putting the colorful side down, and when I'm doing this, I'm making sure to line up the top, but then always line up the side of your image. Every single time, line up the side of your image, because your brain is going to notice that first. It's going to look wonky to you if it is not lined up. Okay. Blue, green, yellow. I'm just using these 4x3 cards from the collection pack cover. That's why it does not look pretty right now. It will look pretty in a minute. Orange. And then pink. Did this backwards. It's okay. You know, learn from my mistake. I should have glued it on the opposite side because I wanted this side to show, not this side, but I think it's going to be okay. It'll be fine. That blue still looks good. I'm going to have this right here. It'll be fine. Okay, let's dry fit to make sure that this is going to fit inside of our album. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to add my photos, and I am going to use, I was having some issues with my glue showing through, so I'm actually going to use tape on this part because I don't want the glue to show through. And we're just going to tape these right on top. And I might have to trim it up a little bit, so I'll just take my scissors. Sorry for the shaking. I'm not really sure what that's about. Okay. So then the next one, see how that's going to look really cool. I'm going to put this right here. And I have a little bit of a decorative edge here, which is kind of neat. So I don't actually have to cover that up with any white or anything. I'm just going to stick my sticker right on top. So that was advantageous. Okay, so now let's dry fit, make sure it's going to look beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. And see how that looks amazing. Yes, yes, yes. So the next step is going to grab a scrap. We're going to grab any old scrap, preferably cardstock. That's pretty thin. And I'm going to cut this the width of my photos because I don't want it to be seen. Let me make it look pretty just a little bit. So like that is perfect. And I'm going to flip this up just like this. I'm going to make sure that that top image is not going to be seen. And I don't want this white piece to be seen either. So it's going to go like that. I'm going to make a little bit of a mark here. Just because when I pick this up, I am going to adhere it on the edges using glue, not tape. Because again, I want this to be set. I do not want to glue over this. I want this to be able to pull, and to be able to pull it. Okay. So right there. Perfect. Just like that. Make sure we're all lined up. I'm going to now add glue on the top of this, just on the edges, maybe in the middle too. Okay. And I'm going to glue that bottom photo to this white piece of cardstock. So you have a little bit of give time. And there's that. Now I'm going to be extra. I'm going to add this piece right here. But when I add this piece, I have to realize that I cannot glue it all the way down. Because if I glue it all the way down, then my waterfall won't work. I can only glue the edges. So, and I'm actually going to cut this. So, this is why. Okay. It's close enough. Can you tell I don't really care anymore? Okay. So, let's just check and see if it works. Isn't that cool? And that's our waterfall. So let's check thickness. Honestly, I bulked this up with only a couple items, right? So that's why I've only got one real interactive page. But that's the end of our album and the end of the summer retreat mini album series. Don't forget to check out every other video in case you have some questions about the process of making this. I think this turned out super cute. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.